Hello everybody, how's it going? Welcome back. Okay, we've done quite a lot, as you can see, and we mirrored it in the last episode, so what we're going to be doing now is adding some more detail, and also these side pieces that go on here. So one of the first things I'm going to need to do is make a new tool. Now we do have some tools already, obviously, which I'll unhide, and currently they're just underneath, so I'm going to bring them up here. And I think what would probably be a good idea is to create a box just down here to build some new ones on. Same method as I always use, really. I bring this up just so I've got a plane in more or less the right position. There we go. Now I'll just use this piece here to build on, like so. Now I want something more or less the same width as this, but I want a bolt on the inside of it this time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a cylinder. Make sure auto grid's turned on. That's got 33 sides, which is a few too many, so I'm going to use 22. There we go. Right, now I don't need this plane up here at the moment, and I'm going to convert to editable poly. Get rid of all the polygons except this top one here. And this is actually quite an interesting and simple shape at first anyway. So I'm going to bevel it down and in. Now I'm not getting enough control there, so I'm going to use the settings. There we go. Now I'll bring the height down a bit more. And now I'll bring the height up again. Now I'm going to do a tiny inset. Like that. And because we've got 22 sides, what I'm going to do is start basically decimating each of these. Like so. Can't remember if you can do two at once or not. Yeah, you can. That's okay then. So like that. Okay, and that's created already this, which is much lower polygon than before. Now this has got, I think this is what it was, 22 sides. This will be 11 sides, won't it? It's probably going to be enough. But I mean, if you think it isn't, you're fully welcome to make another one. I'm just going to use my bevel settings. And then like that. Okay, and this makes another tool for our lineup. So this is called Tool Large Inset Bolt Mount. This will be Tool Large Inset with Bolt. Okay, so that's just another detail piece. Now what I need to do is get my script up, and I also need to cut this in half. So top viewport, going to zoom in on it, and I want to get rid of half of it. I know I just created this half through symmetry. Like I've said before, I tend to delete and come back to it, and delete and come back to it, over and over and over again. Okay, right. Now what I'm going to do is use these tools, the three larger ones, not the smaller ones, to add detail to this model in places that I need it. So, this selected, I'm going to run a script, and I'm going to go to my Ed209 scripts folder and run this one. So this is my source, and I'm going to start picking my distribution objects. And I'm picking the three again because I can then swap between them as I see fit. I'm going to turn off those ones like so. Move this over here, and now I can get started on this. So, go to place mode, one there, one about there, one about here. You'll notice I'm placing them pretty much in the middle of these areas, so I'm going to have to be careful about how I kind of bolt these back together again afterwards. And put one here. Three there. I'm going to have some smaller ones up there. One here. It's going to take me a bit of time to kind of find these and add them in as we go along, so it's a bit of a process. Right, I'm going to try and get a different image in my reference. There's a few of these large ones, you see. There we are. Now then, probably that one there, if it fits. Have a look and see if it does. Just, okay. And there's going to be one at the end here. And one down here. A bit lower. Okay. Next, go back to the older reference I was looking at. And I'm going to put some smaller bolts in. One there. One there, and one there. And on the underside, one about there, and one about there, right next to it. Now up here, two fairly close to each other, then one there. Got to be really careful how I kind of tie these in, otherwise they're not going to fit that well. Okay, and just come round again. Just really looking at the shape again here. There. Okay, that should do it for this placement. I'll just check again. Still got some detail left to add on the back, but that won't take too long, so put one there. Okay, let's turn place off. Just minimize this. And then we can start at the front. So what I'm going to do first is hide my tools. Now this isn't in the right group, so let's assign it to the tools. There, now it's gone. Okay, now I'm going to start basically adding pieces in. So, delete this. Just take my time on it. Zoom out a bit. Okay, and just bridge this. Then cap. Just make sure that's flat on. It's a different colour because it's just acquired the material from the this one here, I think. I'm just going to apply this to everything, just to save some time. There we go. Now, over here, take out this one and this one first. Attach this. And bridge there. Get rid of that one. And go here. Get rid of that one and that one. See, this way we maintain the curve, otherwise we won't keep it, which is a bit of a nuisance. Okay, there to there. Bridge. And there. I'm going to cap here. Capped the wrong piece by mistake. Cap there. And there. And these little holes here and here. Now then, over here, see that? That looks a bit horrible. Something going on there that shouldn't be. Yep, it's a shape, so let's sort this out. I was wondering why it looked like that. There, that's better. Let's just bring this down a little bit here as well. Smooths the shape a little. Okay. Let's find another one to embed into our model. And there's one there. Let's look at that polygon that I just removed. Make sure it was flat. It was. And I'm going to cap this off. You should be able to work now at a fairly fast workflow, just really using your cap tool and using fast hotkeys for this. If you have problems though, just do things the long way until you get used to it. I don't tend to use hotkeys unless I absolutely have to. However, sometimes, especially when you're doing a more involved and detailed project like this one, it doesn't hurt. Okay, let's cap that off. Now, if you look, that one's standing a little bit flush on this side, so that means that basically it's aligned with this polygon and not the other one. So what I'm going to do is grab here, change this to local, and I'm going to move it in local until it's actually here in the middle of this polygon pretty much. I know it's a change from the overall actual design, but only by a little bit, and it means that this is not going to stick out and cause bent polygons. Okay, and bridge that, and then cap. Okay, let's check that. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, on the top here then, I'm going to attach that one, and that one. And to make things easier, I'm going to move that to there. Okay. Now, sudden vision of Camtasia not recording again. You see, it's my constant nightmare. Oh no, I've done all this stuff and I wasn't recording. So, I was having a look the other day. I think I've got something like 6 Camtasia licenses. Because of course I buy licenses for if people are working on 3D Palace tutorials, and I sometimes need an extra one, and so many of the damn things. All different versions. Right, select this one, and this one. Ooh, look at that. Now that shouldn't be happening. So let's cap the other two. And have a look at this. Grab there, do a weld. Right. Still not right. Yeah, that's not nice. Look at that. See if I can target weld it away. Let's see if this is open or not. Doesn't appear to be. Let's see if I can cap it. Looks like I can. There we go, another problem solved. Right, now there's 3 here. And I think I'm going to want to move this one just up a little. There we go. And let's attach them in. There we are. Now I can delete these 3. Start bridging these off again. There. And there. And then we can cap it. And just make sure there's no bends in it. We'll soon be able to see. No, that looks fine. Over here, going to attach this one. Got another polygon to get rid of there and there. Now if you look, that one's gone all the way up to the top there, so I think what I'm going to want to do rather than that is just do a quick cut from there to there. There we go. Now what's happened here, you see, is that by putting that cut in, we no longer have a nice straight polygon. So, let's see. Yeah, I don't think that one's going to work so well there. It's going to cap it bent, which means I'm going to have to fix it. However, we can try. So, this is a good idea actually anyway, because I want to show you kind of some of the things we can and can't do. Bridge that. And cap this. Right, now hit F4. And you'll kind of see the problems initially anyway. First of all, it's capped all this, which is no use, because the cap's gone up all the way around the entire part here. Now you remember this, don't you? This is our ship carburetor thing that we built. Now let's try and grow this a bit. Should really try and weld all this lot together anyway, and really reduce that weld threshold quite a lot. Right, so 15651, 15612. Just increase it a little bit, 16. Let's do that one. See if we've separated it yet. Yeah, we have, but look, it's collapsed it too much, so if we do the weld there, that's too much, and that's okay, but we've got some really whacked out polys going on here. Click OK. Gonna have to recap these because they've gone all bendy. There we go. There, that's tidied that out. God knows it needed it. So now I should be able to cap this part over here, like so. Now as you can see, as I pointed out before, we've got some bendings going on, so what I'm going to do Basically cut this edge up like so, to around about here. And now we can see that edge is starting to go into the right place. What I need to do now is line it up over here. To about there and down. Possibly across a little bit. And then I can target weld this one to it. Now, as you can see, we're still getting some errors on this, but not as many. So what we could do is just recap it. It's like Lego made out of Play-Doh. There we go. And that fits in a lot better, but we've still got this issue going on at the top. However, this issue was one that I wanted to fix quite some time ago. So I'm going to do that now. One to there. One to there. Just line them up completely. Oops, wrong one. Okay. Bring this one out a bit. Mouse is starting to get stuck there. It's amazing, you know, another part where I thought, ooh, this will only take about 3 minutes. I'm going to be here for like days, aren't I? I can tell. I'm sitting there going, and I'm going to finish this piece any time now, I'm sure of it, sure of it. Absolutely positive. Okay, just going to cap off these parts again. Just tidies up our model. Okay, and check it again. Looks much better and neater and tidier. Now on the top here, do a few deletions. That's what we do. Metal grab these, pull them back, because it's going to save me a little bit of effort. There we go. Not too far, just enough. Okay, and attach these in. Now then, zoom in on this. How close is it? Just the right distance. It's not too close that it's overlapping. Now I can bridge that and that. Then I can cap this. Oh dear. You know, I'd go back to freelancing if it wasn't for the fact that no studios really want this many mechs anymore. So if you've got a studio that has an incredible mech project and you don't know who to hire for it, point my way. I'll deal with your mech needs. Okay, now here to here. And cap. Okay, check our piece out again. Still got a few left to go. Now this one, remember about these. You can't cap a hole unless it's got surrounding polygons. Oops, I've got control held, not shift. There we go. I wonder if you can bridge these anymore. Oh, look at that. 3dsmax does offer you a bridge option. I'm going to try doing that. I've never done that before. Just tried it live in this tutorial. It creates a load of tries, but that's really quite surprisingly awesome. Because it used to be that you could only do it with an equal amount of edges. So I'm really quite impressed with that. See what it does with this one, because I bet it doesn't get it right all the time. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Silly 3ds Max. However, really it's just a case of kind of tidying up this rather than insulting 3ds Max. I suppose I can just cap it. See how that looks. Yeah, look at that. Fantastic. Now look at this. What's this? That's a bit of a funky shape we've got going on here that I wasn't aware of. This must be part of that weld that I did earlier, because there was a load of vertices, sorry, that were unaccounted for. So let's do this first. Okay. Yeah, I don't think that's going to work so well. I'm going to go back to bridging between these again. And then here to here. So there we go, you see, we've both learned something new while making this tutorial. Now, this edge here. It's going to have to learn a lesson. I.e. how to be flat. So, scale tool. And I'm just scaling it, first of all on the Y. In a minute I'm going to scale it on the Z. And now I'm going to move it. Rotate it a little bit. Okay. Now there's a few funky things going on here. There really shouldn't be. So I think I'm going to start killing some excess polygons off. Because if I kill these off, I can then straighten it and make it a lot cleaner over here. Okay, let's have a look at that. That one can go as well. Hate messy polygons. Always used to have them when I was starting to learn how to model. I always used to think to myself, how the hell do you get rid of these? There, then bridge. There to them, bridge. Simplistic but effective. Bing. See? And we can just cap this. And cap this. Okay, now down here. Just bring that a little bit out, like so. And it straightens up this piece a bit. Do we have any loops left? Yep, there's one. If I press delete, I can see where the loops are. Okay, and then I can do some tidying. Okay. Right. Funny that, really, I should have not bothered at all with Turbo Smooth and just manually smoothed every edge, which is what I did on Ultimax, I think. But, I don't know, it probably wouldn't have made the tutorial any shorter, to be honest. And at least you're learning a lot about, you know, Going over your smooths and making your model all crunchy and nice. There we go. Bridge that. Yeah, that's better. Much cleaner shape. Right. Try and work out where I put some detail that needs to be welded in. Here's some. Hooray. So over here. And we're starting to get into the kind of very high polygon range now. I mean, we're at 145,000 as you can see from my stats. Hang on, just select this and move that along to there. Right, so I'm not especially worried about slowdown. I mean, I've hopefully got a new graphics card coming anyway in a couple of days, but I want to keep a little eye on it, if you know what I mean. Right, now, what I can do here is bridge here to here, yeah, and then here to here, and it'll give me that edge. See this one here? It'll continue on my edge that this kind of sat in the middle of. So it means that I'm going to get the slight kink, or the slight kind of curve in this shape that otherwise would be completely flat. And this is still going to be kind of flush, which is good. I'll do the same over here. Don't worry if you don't understand what I'm talking about. If you don't understand, it's not important enough, really, so don't worry about it. If you do understand, then I don't need to explain anymore. Okay, let's bridge there. I'm going to get a great review for this one. Clearly, Mr. Robson has no idea what he's talking about, and is just making words so that people will not get too bored while they're listening to these epic-length video tutorials on yet another meg. Why, oh why, oh why, oh why, oh why, oh why, etc. This one I'm going to use that cap thing again. There we go, and bridge it. I do think that's quite funky. There we go. See, this is filling me with happy thoughts. Okay, it looks like I've actually attached all these detail pieces, except for these ones, which I haven't attached. Okay, let's attach them in. Get rid of these ones first. Right, what I was saying before, I'm going to do here. As I say, don't worry if you don't understand it. It's just the way of getting the crease to go down that this is sitting in the middle of. I did a connect by mistake, so I'll do the bridge now. There we go. Then a double cap. 1, 2. Now down here. Now, as you see, this one's quite a bit off. So I'll do these ones first. Between there and there, come on, bridge it. Oh right, got the wrong bit, hang on. Yet again, leaning over my microphone while I do this. Okay, and then down here. I'll just link these two together. There to there. And down here. Okay, bridge that. And that. Just kind of integrate it as best I can, you know. Just make sure there's no parts sticking out over the top that I don't want, and then I can start capping it. Very important to cap your model carefully. Okay. Now if I press H, we'll see if there's anything else in here. Large inset with bolt. Where's that? There it is. So we can add this one in now. We can do this the fast way. Attach. Double border and bridge. Right. So that's done the job surprisingly well, to be honest. So what I'm going to do now is apply symmetry again. Just on the y-axis there and flip. Now, before I do, go back to my editable poly, because we can see that I didn't delete these three when I was supposed to. Right, back into symmetry again. There we go. And now all the detail on our model has been mirrored, and as you can see, our poly count's jumped up about 15,000 points. However, everything's pretty much welded into the right area. So, on the back here, let's have a look at it. Who'd have thought it? I've actually got pretty much the perfect space on the back to do what I wanted to. Although I do want to remove some of these polygons on the way, so what I'm going to do is select along here. Just use the select tool for this. Got to be careful and just use the ignore back facing. It can slow your system down a little bit. However, so only use it when you feel you absolutely have to. A lot of the time, your selection woes can be fixed by just selecting things very carefully. So, try that instead. Okay. Next. My group select. Get rid of them. Being careful how I select these because I don't want to delete any polygons that are kind of critical. I suppose you think to yourself, but aren't they critical, Chris? No, they're not. Not even remotely. They've just been smoothed a bit too much. They're no use. See, I was going to do those overarm shouldery things this time, and I just not going to have the time for them now. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's get these selected. Overarm shouldery things. What a name. Some valid real name for them, I'm sure. Anyone who worked on or with the Robocop team, if you ever see this, I greatly apologise. However, top kudos to you guys. An awesome piece. Okay. I'm going to bring this forward until we get to this corner here. Stop. Target weld, or just weld in general. I'll just weld it in general, actually. First, I'm going to flatten it a bit. Go over here and do a weld. Okay. Now then, have we got those edges joined in? Yes, we have. Good. Now, just having a look at this. There and there. I can see what I'm doing, I think. Yeah, I can. Okay. I need to take out these polygons just underneath. Take these ones out as well. Right. Now this is going to give me an opportunity to straighten out these edges. You can always tell when it's in a tutorial that I'm really totally getting into, because it ends up being like way longer than the 4 hours I promised it was going to be for the entire set, and then B, the individual parts end up being like an hour plus each. And I get emails like, "Dear Chris, thank you for your great tutorial. My cousin who I bought it for died whilst watching it of old age. Please send me refund and or money." There we go, bring that up to there. Flattens it out nicely. And I'm going to flatten these in as well. Got to be careful, because if you look, by doing that I'm going to change the angle there, so I'll just keep them the same actually. Okay, now edge select. Make sure I'm only selecting the correct edge. And then use the move tool, and I'm going to move it down until it gets to that corner there. There we go. Now I'm going to go into this corner here. Zoom on that edge. Do a quick target weld. Zoom over at this one. There we go. Starting to get somewhere. Now then, over here, I want to run a cut. There to there. As you can see, Max is starting to bulk a little bit now. But that's okay, Max can shut its filthy mouth and get on with what it's supposed to do. Whining little child that it is at times. Alright. Just checking that. Let's undo that cut that I just made. There we go, one there. And one there. Shift, drag. Bring it to there. And I'm going to clone to an element. Oop, didn't quite get it right when I did that. Get back. I need to turn off ignore back facing as soon as I can. Get a real performance hit there. Then bring it forward again like that. To there. Click OK. Now this is where it becomes a little bit more complicated. Delete that. And then that. It's like, Chris, you crazy man, what you doing? Don't worry, makes sense, promise. What it is, I want to extrude this forward, okay? Now, I can't extrude it forward between the two rear exhausts without doing some major kind of restructuring work. So what's easier is to basically do the restructuring work before I extrude and not even bother with the extrude. It seems a bit of a long way of doing things, and in a way it is. However, it's an effective way of doing it as well. And that's why I'm doing this. Okay. So before you go, Chris man, you loco. Okay, don't worry. It does make sense. Okay, I'm going to zoom in over here. Do a quick weld. Oops. Just trying to undo my weld there. Yep, that's right. Okay. Now down here. And then down here. And then over here. Now, quickly scoot inside the model. And get rid of that. Just check this. Yep, good. Just make sure that wasn't cutting off the wrong piece, because that would have been quite irritating. Same here. Right, now back into the target welds again. And which way did I target weld? Target weld down, okay. Just there, and then this top one. I'll do the same again on the other side in just a moment, because I didn't do the top one, so it's probably just going to be hanging there. There we go. Okay, and this becomes a solid piece again. Now I can go into the bridge mode. Just bridge these across. Because of course I've got details to put in on the back, so... There we go. Put a health warning on. Please remember to drink plenty of coffee before watching this set. I was going to say warm drinks. Right. Straighten these up. In theory I could rip out every single one of these and just rebuild them manually, but I'm trying to imagine what it'd be like if you had many, many more of these. Maybe if you've been like unfortunate enough to stick like 9 subdivision levels on it or something. So there we are. Yeah, that's cool, man. Okay, now I'm going to bring this back. Using my amusing comedy voice. Yeah, man. So one time, I was doing an interview. I was remembering this earlier today. And it was for like the old TV Palace. And this was when we were filming episode 3. And the problem with episode 3 was that it was probably, and this doesn't sound like a problem, the best episode like we'd ever done of the TV Palace ones. And if you've ever seen TV Palace, I mean, you know, they were funny. They were funny. So I recorded this TV Palace episode. I mean, this footage for it, and I was interviewing some of the guys from Pixar, who are, incidentally, a really, really nice bunch of people. And we had all the usual things, and it was round about the time, as I recall, The Incredibles had came out. And we were chatting about, you know, the rigs they used in The Incredibles, and I know John, Squid on the forums, had a great interest in, you know, the rubber rig that they used for the wife in The Incredibles, and was interested to know how they'd done it, because he had his own opinions on it. And when we were done, there was some comment being made where about accents, because of course they're all American, and I'm not. And somehow it got mentioned that I could do this kind of Clint Eastwood style accent or whatever the hell it was. I'm not going to do it, so don't get your hopes up. And they said, "Oh, go on then. If you do that, we'll do Dick Van Dyke impersonations." So fine. So I did this impersonation, and I actually had film footage of the Pixar guys dancing around the green room, because it was at Animex, singing Dick Van Dyke songs. Well, not, Mary Poppins impersonations and stuff. And it was beautiful. It really was. And it's always been a constant source of sadness to me that we lost that footage. Because I would have loved... I mean, I know it's completely kind of technically irrelevant now, but I'd have loved to have refound that footage again. Because it was funny as hell. Bridge. Okay, uncap this and this. All this effort just for this, would you believe it? And what it's given us is... I thought there was a piece of model on my monitor, and it's not. It's a piece of food. It's given us that ridge there, which is what I needed. And it's given us this here, which I'm going to work on, because it's nice and straight. So, for this part here, I'm now going to straighten out these edges. Same method again. I may have said it before in this tutorial, but I came across this method when I watched a video by Zach, known as Ocknot, on the 3D Palace forums. And he was doing some unwrapping and was kind of demonstrating a fast way of lining up your unwrap. And he did this, and it was like, wow, show me that mad magic again. Absolutely fantastic. Okay, and do this one, then this one. Quick inset. Let's see, how far apart should they be? A little bit less than that. There, that should do it. Click apply, and then I'll do this one. Click OK. If your model starts to slow down too much, just start breaking it apart, or even isolate parts if you want. Allow me to demonstrate. Okay, so grow. There we go. And then hide unselected. And now you can just work on this part, you see? And you'll find that your 3dsmax speeds up quite a bit. Just remember to be aware of the stuff kind of going on in the background. Okay, so here, 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 and there. It's amazing. This is one of the few tutorials I've done in about the past year where we've came across some fantastic new procedures of doing things. And it's not because of the new version of Max, because the only thing new in 3ds Max 2008 was the fact they added a 1 to the number at the end of it. Okay, chamfer. Apply. There we go. Just round it out a bit at the edges. Click OK. Control A, just to select everything and then do a quick weld. If we increase the threshold enough, not too much or we'll lose our geometry, then we'll lose quite a few of our verts. Okay, now, save time, what I'm going to do is polygon select this lot, and then I'm going to do a slice plane, and I can just drag that to where I want it. You can see the line, so I'm going to drag that up to there, like so. Click slice and turn it off. Now I can select these ones, there, there, and there, and I'm going to chamfer them nice and wide. dsmax is virtually crying at me at the moment, I think. It's not having a very good time, bless it. Okay, let's get this all selected. 3dsmax will probably be pleased to know that I'm getting finished nearly, apart from those shoulder bits on the torso, and then we can put it away. Okay, going to do a bevel. Way too much. Minus 0.001 by minus 0.001. That's better. Click OK. And extrude by minus 0.01. Okay, and then a bevel. Deselect these parts.
Do an inset by 0.001. It's a great way of adding like verts to things. Okay, do a bevel. Give it a height of 0.001, nice and minor. Remember, you're probably working different scale to me, so you know. There we are. And now a little bevel again. Press F4, look at it. Yeah, that is nice. I love doing that. Okay, unhide all. And there's our model again. You'll notice that it's all still one piece of geometry, so that's good. Now then up here, where these four are, just want to see how flat they are, because I need to find a place that I can put the next piece of geometry I want to put on here. So I'm going to make a cylinder. Don't need a massive one. About that big. Bring it in. Convert to editable poly. Do the Control I thing and delete the back polygons. Zoom in. Right. First I'm going to attach it. And then I'm going to use this bridge thing that we tried before, because it actually works surprisingly well. It's bizarre. I don't know why I never considered it before, and I'm suddenly using it in the middle of a live tutorial. So go figure. Okay, hide unselected. And now I can go straight into here. And if we look, what I'm going to do is do a cut straight along here, there to there. And then I'm going to kind of freehand do a cut there to there. And, oop, not there, got to make sure I get it on the vert. There. No, that looks fine. Doesn't matter if it's completely straight or not. Though some may argue otherwise. Whoops. There we are. There, that's nice. So again, using the same settings as before. Exactly the same settings as well. Bevel it. And extrude it. And bevel it. Tiny inset. Bevel it up. I remember when I came up with this idea, and it's one of those things that always seems so surprisingly simple as a detail making exercise, because it just worked so well. There we go. And it does as well. Most of the time, if you do it this way, you're adding in the chamfers, so you don't need to kind of use your chamfer tools. Unhide all. Now, depending on the piece you're looking at, there's cables and things kind of run down it. If you want to emulate a cable, you could use the, let me think, there was a blur tool called Wire Jumble that's quite good for that. But there's a couple of good tools for it. But I'll kind of leave it up to you what you think is going to work well. I think what I'm going to do is grab here, 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 and here, and do a chamfer. And then a kind of half chamfer. And that'll give me this nice rounded piece here. And for this I'm just going to have it as an inset. And a bevel. Okay. Then extrude in. Then a bevel. And an inset. Then a bevel up. I remember what I always used to watch like tutorials and read tutorials before I started doing them, when I was like learning 3ds Max, not videos because there bloody well weren't any. And it always used to astonish me at the long-winded, really arsey approaches some people would take to doing this kind of thing. And I remember I saw loads of tutorials for like Lightwave and other programs that would show you how to do stuff really, really fast. I remember thinking to myself, you know, that's the way to go. I'm not arsing around with these stupid slow ways of doing stuff. Would anyone blooming listen? No. Right, I'm going to do a cut down here. And then I'm going to do a target weld. May interest you to know that we've just passed the 60-minute mark, in case you weren't paying attention. Right, here I'm going to curve this up a bit. There we go. And I think what I'll do here is I can make a curved panel, which will look quite nice. Rather fetching. So I'll do a chamfer here. And then a half chamfer. Same as the last one. And I think on the other side, am I actually connected at the bottom? Oh, thank goodness for that. I thought I hadn't for a minute. That could have been quite grim. Right, over here on the other side. Let's see. I'll do this one. So we'll do two sides and two sets of detail at once, you see. It's one chamfer. Lovely curved edges. Really pretty. Right, go into there. Just keeping an eye on it, make sure that we don't have any really, really over-the-top obviousness in that flat piece. Okay, now bevel. Do a nice inward bevel. And then an extrude in. Then a nice inward bevel again. Then a tiny inset. Then a bevel up. And an extrude up. And then a bevel up. There we go. It's given us a couple of nice detail panels here that haven't crossed over where they shouldn't. So all in all, that makes me quite happy. Okay, so a couple of things that I'm going to do, and you know what? I'm going to do them in this tutorial, which kind of taken my life in my hands here, so I'm going to save it as a workbench while I'm doing it. So, file, save as, workbench. Just in case something goes wrong. The video probably won't, but the workbench, you never can tell. Now let's find a decent reference for this side piece. Okay, top view. Hit F4. Okay, I'm going to bring it out as a box. And it's actually going to come out to here and here. And then basically spread out in size. It's quite a cunning design. So, perspective zoom, and because it's on the ground plane, let's bring it up. First thing I need to do is get the height and width right. So, convert to editable poly. Bring this down like so. Right. Now we can kind of work on the widths and things that we need. That to there. I'm going to bring it over here to around about there. There's a couple of things I need to do with it. First, I want to go and do a ring and a connect into there, and then a ring and a connect into there. Do the top view and zoom so I can make sure I'm lining them up properly. Bring this one across. Alright, that's fine. Next, perspective view and zoom again. Go here and here. Do a very small extrude, like that. And then bring it out to about there and about there. Okay. Now bring these up a bit here. And in. There we are. And I'm going to scale these in. Okay, and I'm going to bring these in. Where's my blooming thing gone? Okay, so that goes into there, and this goes into here. Now if I go around this side, I can bring these forward a bit. Got to be careful not to kind of break the shape. There we go. There, that's quite nice. Right, now if I do a quick edge checks just on this, so I'm going to do a save, just to be on the safe side, and do a standard edge checks. Now let me think. Actually no, I need to round these shapes, don't I? Rather than doing that, so delete that again. Sorry, I was just thinking about it, and the way I was going about it wasn't really the way I wanted. I'm going to have to do manual chamfering. And may God have mercy on us all. I'm going to select all these. It's funny because I remember some guy was saying, oh, it doesn't look quite like Ed 209 yet. And I was thinking that's probably because it doesn't have this kind of side thing on yet. And also because it hasn't fallen down a staircase. There we go. Okay, check all our nice straight edges. Chamfer. Now if you look, I can only chamfer so far because of those. So I'll call this cell set 1. It's a bit of a nuisance because I kind of quite limited by what I can do with these. So I can only smooth them a small amount without going over. Apply. Okay. Right, now let's do a quick target weld on this. And it'll, oop, wrong way. And it should kind of weld together some of the pieces. There we are. Makes things a little bit cleaner and tidier for us. It's a nice smooth piece anyway, really. Now over here, what I'm going to do is select this edge, just here, and do a ring, then a connect, and I'm going to go here and here and here and here, and just going to extrude those straight out, just halfway, and delete these bottom ones, or top ones even. Whatever works. Hinge from edge. Pick my hinge. 180-degree angle, 11 segments on each. Click OK, delete that end polygon. Control A on the verts and weld it off. Okay. Now we've got what looks like some sort of basic iPod on the top of this. So what I'm going to do is go through the middle of here, do a connect, and slide my connect this way. It's not an iPod really, but it just looks comedic. Now I'm going to do another connect and slide it to here. Click OK. Then I'm going to do another connect. Another, you mad? And I'm going to do it to about here. And click OK. Right. Now what I can do is select here, here, and here. And I'm going to do a small bevel by 0.001, 0.001. Click OK, and I'll extrude it by 0.01, like that. Actually, maybe 0.05. That's a bit too much. 0.025. Ah, spot on. Okay, now I'll do a little bevel. Same one as I did before. Like that. And then over here, I can do an insert. Bring it in like that. Now that bevel really wasn't enough for what I was after. Do that again. Bevel. That's the height modifier. There we go. 0.03, yeah, why not? Extruded by that much. Oh yeah. And then another little bevel. Then over here, just a little inset. Bevel it in. Extrude it in. Then bevel it in. Then these parts. Bevel it in. Extrude it in. Bevel it in. Hurrah for pointless design. It's mint. Right. And another part that I need to kind of make of this is I need these caps that go on the end, and I think, thinking about it, there's an easy way for me to do that, so I'm just going to use a cylinder, kind of draw it on the end here, and bring it out like that. Convert to editable polygon, grow, and then delete off that back one. There we go. Delete those. Not sure if this will work or not, but it is worth a try, so attach. If not, I can always undo it all again. Ridge. Ha! It worked. Right, so what I'm going to do now is unhide my tools again. So, here's my tools. Unhidden. Actually, I don't even need to unhide my tools, because thinking about it, I can just use this manager as it is. Right, so I've still got this selected as my source. Go straight into place mode and just put this right in the middle there. Okay. Now, if I attach this piece and then grow it a bit, and then delete this polygon, do here to here as a bridge. Oh, no, I want to cancel. I mean here to here as a bridge. Yes. There we go. That creates the end piece there that I like and wanted. Now, go back to our placing stuff tool. And I'm going to use the second one. Use this as my source. Hang on. There we are. I'm going to place mode. Put one there and one there. Turn it around. One there. I'll use a different one for this. There we go. One there and one there. Then on the underside, I think I'm going to put one there and one there. Just because they'll fit in so nicely and easily. Minimize this again. It's like, how much stuff can I do in one section? It's already 1 hour 15 minutes in, Chris. Answer, all of it. All of it. Okay, here to here. Just going to use the fast bridge method, checking it occasionally to make sure it hasn't done horrible things that it shouldn't have done. Try and move this across a little. Oops, wrong one. There we go. I think I'm starting to go crazy mad. Mid bridge. I keep thinking of that line out of Crazy Taxi for some reason. Like, it's time to make some crazy money. So I'm gonna have to go and find my old Dreamcast and Crazy Taxi, because I missed that game. If you haven't played it, you really need to. Okay, bring this down a little. No, not you. You. There we go. Right, attach it. And then bridge. Oh look, I must have deleted this polygon without even realising. Where's it gone? I wonder if it's gone on the other side as well. Have a look. Nope. Must be an anomaly. Oh look. There's another anomaly. Bit of model repair then. There we are. Can't be having none of that. Ooh, look, there's another time. This is one of the reasons you use, there we go, the ignore back facing tool. Okay, just about there. Got some on the underside. Getting nice and close so I can see them. And I've actually got another 4 to add. Oh no. They really do love their details on these, don't they? So attach and delete this. Funny, I keep thinking to myself, you know, while I'm making this tutorial, God, I've got to make it as exact as I possibly can. And, you know, that nagging thought keeps coming into my head, but Chris, it's only a tutorial. It doesn't have to be the exact model. You're teaching people to do it themselves. Cancel. I'm like, I still want them to learn it. My dear, lovely students. Though not the ones of you who downloaded this from a torrent site. You're not dear and lovely. You're terribly bad students. There's 104% less learning on this if you use a pirated version. And as piracy mainly affects us smaller companies, it really does stop me bringing out new free material, because I don't have time to, because I've got to spend too much time doing new commercial stock. Something for you to consider. Anyway. There we go. Delete those. It's like someone really discovered like the joy of greebling and just wanted to do as much as they possibly could in one lifetime. I'm going to do an edge checks on this in just a minute, because there are a few flat edges on this that I do want to iron out. So before I do, save it. Then call up the edge checks. Just a simple standard. And just bring the size down a little bit. There we go. There we are. Just apply a basic material to this. And we need to change the pivot on it so it's in the right place. Oop, that's not the pivot, that's the entire object. The pivot is quite easy to find because it's the central part just here. So it's just for me a case of lining up the arrows. Again, horrifying people who seem to think that you have to use a ruler and a pendulum. We call them Freemasons. Right. Ah, that's not bad. Now I'm going to mirror it as a copy on the y-axis. Just move it into the right position. Like that. And then I'm going to reset X form, which will turn it a lovely shade of inside out. Convert it to edible poly. And then flip everything. And for these ones, it's probably not a bad idea doing a reset on these as well, just to be on the safe side. Right, let's have a look at that. Okay. Now, if I use my rotate tool on an angle snap, I bring them down 15 degrees on each side. It's nice, it's like a little aeroplane, isn't it? Okay, now hips, legs, right leg, left leg, don't need the tools out, and the default part, which is the gun. Now, something I want to have a quick look at whilst I'm here is this. I'm going to isolate my selection. Reason being that this foot is problematic at the moment. It's not particularly high polygon, so we do have a chance to kind of fix what's wrong. And I'm going to. So, front viewport, quick slice, and before I do this I need to kind of have a look at the shape. Yep, so what I'm going to do is take out this part first. I'm not going to quick slice it. Just make sure I'm not dicing it up first. Oh, I've got the tool selected for some reason up there. Never mind. Right. Taking out these parts is surprisingly easy. All I need to do is just grow it until it vanishes. Well, shrink that a bit. Delete. Now select the rest of this. Press F4 and I can cap it, and it's as if it was never there. See? Cap. Now, what I need to do is round this out because it's too sharp. So what I'm going to do is grab here and just look at it. Okay, I'm going to do a quick slice. And just get rid of this part here. Okay, now if I look at it, I'm going to start bonding parts together to make it a curved shape. I was going to do this in the appendix, but I'm doing it now. Okay, so connect, collapse, there we are. Okay, now target weld here. See, what we're trying to do is make this a much more kind of rounded and friendly looking shape over this end, which is actually a lot kind of harder than you would think. That's there. Bring this one up a bit as well, making sure we don't break that part. Okay, delete off some of these polygons over here. I think I was moving that one on the wrong axis actually. There we go. 1, 2. As I said before, it's really just a case of kind of rounding this out. One, 2. Now I can straighten this again. If you really enjoy messing around with shapes and trying to work out kind of trig in your head pretty much, and the location of objects in 3D space relative to where you are, it's a bit like modelling with clay with your eyes closed, then you'll probably enjoy this. Otherwise, just leave it the way it is, or just model it right the first time. Something I really should have done. So thanks to Pooping Clumping for pointing it out, while it was still just a whip. Probably just as well you did though, otherwise people would have gone, what are you doing, you buffoon? There we go. I tell you what, I'm more guilty than most of pointing out criticisms in my work. And honestly, you can never have too many criticisms. If you're not getting criticisms in your work, you're probably doing something wrong. Okay, let's send an edge up here. Ring. I said ring. Fine, don't. Connect. Move it forward a bit. Target weld this. Okay, and a bit of a bridge here. And a bit of a bridge from here to here. Some fun. Right. I'd be fibbing, actually. It is fun. So, take that as you like it. Right. Cuts. There to there. There. No. Cut. There. Why are you cutting? There we are. Target welding. There. Now we can start bulging these forward a bit. By the way, if you're not an Ed 209 fan, then sod off, quite frankly, because by the time you'll have spent modelling this damn thing, you better love Ed 209 as much as you love your dog. There we go. Straighten that up. It's like tweaks galore, isn't it? Like, Chris, when can we have a rest from tweaking? You can't. You're a modeller. That's what you're going to do until you die. Bridge. Click here and just do a ring. That should get all three of them. Do a connect straight down the middle. Now for a target weld. Okay, let's start looking at the shape again. Now then, down here, I'm going to have to do another cut, because this isn't... I don't know. Let's have a look at it. I think I'll just cap it. Okay, just gonna have a look at this now over here. Start straightening up these parts. There we are. Better. Much better. Just have a look at these pieces down the end here, make sure they all match up. Do a quick weld. There we are, just get rid of any excess that we don't need. Now, FFD 4x4x4 should be okay for what I need. Because I'm going to grab these four and bring them in a bit more like that. Compared to edible poly. That's a lot better in overall shape than it was. So let's go into the tools system. Set this as a source, and then we can place on it. I'll have it aligned to that one actually. Get away. Everywhere. Must have forgotten to turn off the place button. There we are. Right. Get rid of these two. And attach this. And then press here and bridge. Now, a few areas here that have kind of overlapped that I'd rather didn't. Get rid of that one. Come on, autosave. Get on with it. That's it. Cap and cap. Little bit of a thing going on there, but we can fix that using an edge checks. Ooh, look at that. That's horrible. I'm not going to stand for that either. There's no excuse for that kind of capping mess, so I'm not going to let Max get away with it. Now, what have we got down here, though? Oh, noisy house, what are you doing to me? What's this? And why the hell am I having to put up with it? You should never have to tolerate dirty, rotten little polygons like that if you don't have to. And I certainly don't intend to target weld. There, that should make things a little bit, i.e. a lot cleaner. And if that was something on every toe, then it's just as well that we've cleaned it up, to be honest. Right, let's go on edge checks. It helps if we select something. That'll do. Beautiful. Do with a touch of smooth on it though. There we go, 22.5 is usually enough. Let's have a quick look down here. Now then, this is something that I would like to try and avoid. Just having a look at it here. You can kind of see it if I just zoom in here. Okay, it's a viable shape, but it's not a pleasant one, so... dear. I suppose the easy way to do that is to bring this one across to here, up to here, and that a bit across to the right. Let's have a look at these verts on the inside here. Bring this one down a bit, and this one up a little bit. Now then, that's a strange and unruly shape, so let's do a cut on it. Which is the best way to end that kind of a chamfer, to be honest. Right. Just a case of quickly tidying up our model. Avoid using the relax modifier because it won't do you any good. It very rarely does. That's better. I think got some really far too straight edges here. Just bring it out a bit more. There and there. There, that's much better. See, that's making me happy again. Right, so exit isolation mode. You can kind of, oops, see the difference there between the two toes there and there. So what I'm going to do, take side toe 2 and replace it with this side toe here. And delete off these two here and here. And then do a mirror operation. Like so. And the same again with this one. Fortunately, it never does it the same every time, so there we go. Right, now this and this, do an X-form reset, and they'll turn inside out, convert them to edible polys, and flip them, and then they'll be the right ones again. There we go. So, covered an awful lot in that part, so I hope you enjoyed it. We're at, that's Steam. Yeah, we're at 100 minutes. I don't think I've actually ever recorded a tutorial before that's 100 minutes. It's a bit of a first for me, so I hope you're enjoying my first. Celebrate, I'm going to have a sip of pop. My first in 1 hour and 40 minutes. And I'll look forward to seeing you in the next part, which I sincerely hope won't be 100 minutes long. Bye bye for now.